Hey guys, Dev04066 here and welcome back to another gaming video. So for today's video, very special one, we have Vainglory. Now as you guys may or may not have known already, I've just started playing this game, and in fact I think I've been playing it for less than 2 months, okay, close to 2 months I believe. And today here are going to be my 5 beginner tips that I'm going to give to help you guys be a better Vainglory player from my own experience. And I would say I'm a pretty average player now after playing this game for like over a month, which I would say is pretty good. Okay, so the first thing you want to do now, this is not exactly a tip, okay, I wouldn't count this in the 5 tips, but the first thing you want to do when you get into the game is, of course, go through the tutorial. Once you finish the tutorial in the Vainglory tab, now Vainglory is a very big game, and the reason why is that it includes all of the tutorial videos inside the game itself. So before you even start anything, okay, start playing any games for real, I advise you guys to watch through all of the tutorial videos first. Now when you first start, there are also quests for you to complete, which requires you to watch the tutorial videos. So definitely watch through all of the tutorial videos before you start playing, so that you can get a better idea of how to play the game and not suck and burden your teammates. So right, the first tip I have now, I'm just going to go into a practice match, so you guys just won't we have something to watch at least. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is know your heroes. Okay, so there are 3 roles in Vainglory. That's the captain, the jungler, and the carry role. Okay, so each role has a different purpose. I'll roughly go through each one. Captain, basically the tank or the healer of the team, has a lot of health and basically supports the team by buying team items, and basically is just there to tank or to heal up your team. Okay, secondly, jungler. Okay, the jungler goes into the jungle to kill monsters and level up quickly, and then afterwards during the late game, the jungler comes out as sort of a captain and a carry hybrid, in my opinion. So the jungler usually is junglers are usually one of the strongest heroes. They have both good offense and defense as well, but that does not mean that they are the best heroes to choose from. Okay, each team ideally should have one of each type of hero for the most well-balanced team, and that's what junglers do. So they go into a jungle, they kill monsters instead of going after the enemy, so that they level up faster and earn gold for their team. Now the last role is the carry role. The carries are usually quite squishy heroes, and what they do is they are the main damage dealers of the team. So their job is to stay behind the captains and to deal damage to the other team and harass the enemy carry. Right, so my favorite role to play is actually the carry, and my favorite hero is actually Scarf. So right now we'll just go into a match, a practice match, and we'll go on to the second tip. Okay, so second tip is sort of like a combination of shopping and choosing your build. Now for beginners, I would really recommend you to just go for their recommended builds. I know many pros are going to say that, oh, but that's not the best build in the game and blah blah blah. But for beginners, I find that the recommended builds have worked out really well for me. So speaking from my own personal experience, I think that if you're a beginner and you don't know how to build your hero, just go for the recommended builds. Okay, so they usually have a few builds for you to choose from depending on your hero. So for Scarf, there are 2 recommended builds. You can either go for continuous damage or burst damage. I'm gonna go for continuous damage, and when you choose a recommended build, usually they'll just have recommended items for you to buy in the lower right hand side of your screen, so you can actually just quick buy everything really quickly. And since I level juice enabled, I can just level up my hero like that all the way. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so shopping. How do you want to shop for items? Now you notice here, they usually have lines here leading up to the item, and what you want to do is Okay, let me sell another item first. Oh wait. Okay. Okay. So how you want to shop is, let's say you have 300 gold. So I'm going to buy the crystal bit first, and then let's say I want to build up to a frostburn. Okay. So frostburn, you can either go through the heavy prism or the eclipse prism, and both lead up to the frostburn. Okay, I'm gonna sell another item first. Let's sell this spellfire. So what you want to do is buy the heavy prism and then buy the eclipse prism as well. Okay, you see that the gold has actually decreased for frostburn and actually scales accordingly. So it will still be the same price ultimately. So instead of saving up and buying the frostburn in one shot, okay, buy 2 of the items leading up to it first, then you buy the last item on the list. And what that does is that it enables you to get the passives of both of these items while you are still battling and collecting the gold, instead of having only one or none of them if you decide to save up and then go all the way. So this is the better way, in my opinion, to shop. So that brings me to my third tip. Okay, so my third tip is actually vision. Now, if you are a captain or if you are just playing that role in your team, you should go under utility and buy the no, you should go under others and buy the flare or scout trap. Now these two are really useful. What they do is basically they allow you to see where your where your enemy is, and vision is really important, especially if you can't travel to an area quickly enough, and or if you want to see if an enemy is there before you go in with your team and whatnot, so you just don't get destroyed. And it's actually pretty hard to play this on the PC, as you guys can see. Okay, so what you really want to do is have vision at all times. Okay, so one person in your team should at least be purchasing vision items. Usually it's your captain hero, but if your captain doesn't purchase any, you should make the sacrifice and purchase some, because it really helps the team out. Okay, so what I like to do is at the start of the match, especially for blitz matches, just throw a flare somewhere around the central area to see if the opponent is going after ooh, okay, this is bad. Okay, to see if the opponent is actually going after the middle sentry first. And this is especially key for blitz matches, whereby the middle sentry is worth 3 points. Even for standard matches, you should see if your enemy is going after the goal sentry, so that they don't get a goal lead, and a goal lead will really set your team back if you don't know how to play well. So yeah, vision really important. And the next tip I have is don't rush, be patient. Okay, always engage your enemy as a team, never go in alone. Okay, the only times where you should go in alone is if an enemy hero is isolated, or if they have very low health left and you do not put yourself at risk of being killed. That is the only time where you should go in alone. All other times you should definitely go in with your team and don't rush. I've lost count of the number of times where I actually just rushed in and then, you know, got myself killed and actually became a burden to my team. So don't ever do that. That is a rookie mistake that you should never make. And if you guys watch the competitive scene in Vainglory, you'll see that the players are all extremely patient. Okay, they never rush in blindly. They just move around the corner and wait for the enemy to make the first move. Okay, so always have patience when playing Vainglory, and yeah, never rush in blindly or without your team, or you'll just end up getting yourself killed. Now, the last tip I want to give you guys is actually do not AFK. Okay, AFK is not only burdens your team, but you'll be a really hated player, and on top of that, there are also personal repercussions, like it can get you banned, it can get you placed in a low priority queue. So if you are busy or you have a poor internet connection, then just don't hop into a match, because you only end up giving yourself a disadvantage personally, and you also disadvantage your teammates, which is a really bad thing to do. So never ever AFK. Only play when you have a stable internet connection and when you have the time to commit. So my favorite mode is actually Blitz. Simply because it's very short. It doesn't require a long time to play, unlike the standard PvP, which usually takes around 20 minutes to half an hour. Depending on how long your team takes. Okay, so yeah, don't ever AFK, and generally just be patient, and you'll turn out to be a really good Vainglory player. I apologize for the coughing. I'm still having a very bad sore throat, as you guys can tell from my voice, and hopefully you'll recover soon enough. I'm also making the Taiwan video in the meantime. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this short Vainglory video from me. And if you have learned something as a beginner, do drop it a like. If you'd like to see more future Vainglory videos from me, do subscribe to my channel. And leave a comment down below. Maybe if you have some other tips, you can leave a comment down below as well. They'll like other beginners to know about. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and till the next time, this has been Dev04066. Peace out.